Hello YouTube. So today we are going to be looking at the remove duplicates from sorted array question, and the question states that given a sorted array nums, remove the duplicates in place such that each element appears only once and returns the new length. Okay, so do not allocate extra space for another array. You may do this by modifying the input array in place. Alright, cool. So we have to modify the array in place, and let's try to solve this using an example. Let's take this example for the matter. Alright, so what we have to understand from this array is that the first element is always going to be unique. Given that this is a sorted array, the first element is always going to be unique. The second element can be a duplicate of the first element, but then no matter whatever the upcoming elements, the first element is always going to be unique. So considering that we swap and keep that the leftmost part of the array with the originals and then the rightmost part of the array with duplicates, we have to start by swapping with this index and not essentially this index. So I think you'll probably understand what I'm doing if you follow along with me in the code. So why I'm starting with an index position at 1 is because we need not swap the 0th element because it's always going to be unique, and we have to start swapping for the first index and then ultimately return the index because that's going to be the new length. So let's iterate through this array. And so ultimately here comes the condition. We have to swap this element with this element, and then subsequently this element with this element, etc, etc. So how we going to probably carry out this if we say, so what happens if both the numbers are same? Then if both the numbers are same, we're not going to be doing anything. If we have a mismatch in the elements, that is if ith element is not equal to I plus 1th element, then we swap this element and this element. So which means that if nums of I is not equal to nums of I plus 1, then we say nums of index equals nums of I plus 1. So because the index is the first element, and that's why I mentioned 1 here, so that we start swapping from this position. And once after a swap, we increment the index to this value so that it just keeps on going to the last element. And so we have to increment the index, and let's do that here itself. So this is a postfix operator, which means that the index is only going to be incremented after this entire line is executed. And so we just need to return the index value. I think this will solve the question. Let's go ahead and submit. Whoops, we have an array index out of bound exception. Oh, sorry, I actually forgot this, because you cannot eventually check out the last element, and then that's basically no I plus 1 for the last element, right? So this makes sure that nums of length minus 1 make sure that we're only checking the second last element and the last element, not the last element and some additional crappy garbage value that's out there. So this should solve the problem. Yep, cool. So that's it. That's the solution. Make sure, please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you think that I'm doing a good work, and also hit that bell icon so that you don't miss out on further upcoming new videos. Thank you.